Hey everybody, Garret Claridge here. I'm just out in my woodshed. I'm going to take you through something I'm doing here. You'll see these speakers, they look like a good old gloss on them there. Pair of them. These are old silver speakers, that was the brand of them. Solid wood cabinets, all that. Very old and vintage. So, what I just sprayed on these is some rubberized asphalt undercoating for your car. Now, why would I do that? Well, I'll tell you. Speakers usually outside will last a good long time. The thing that dies on them is the boxes. Like, the boxes will separate, they will soak up water, the boxes will essentially just disintegrate, and then, of course, when the box disintegrates, then the sound is no good, and all that good stuff. Now, for outside speakers, you can buy those little plastic ones. I have a few sets of those, maybe 3 or 4 sets of those. They work great, but they are nothing compared to even the 25-watt vintage sound you can get on your patio. Now, I've tested it a lot. I've used this method quite a bit. I've had a pair of speakers coated with this stuff out on the side of my shed for about 6 years, and they still look absolutely perfect. Well, they would have still looked absolutely perfect if I didn't get drunk one night and decide to beat them off the shed with a baseball bat. Other than that, they would have been just fine because they were totally playable 6 years in. And it was the exact same situation like this, just some cheap little speakers. Now, if you're doing this, let me just say, to make it last a whole lot longer, if you find a speaker with a grill on it like this, like one of those permanent grills, I found if the water hits that, it'll just roll off versus go inside of it. Although, water on a speaker cone doesn't really matter. I have so many examples of this around my house. I don't see any right now. Maybe at the other place, frig. I've had speakers untreated, without the tar shit on it, just sitting out in the bush, and I mean, that lasted the whole season. I could plug that in any time and party with those speakers, and they lasted just fine. You know, the cones might have got a little rippled up or whatever, but like I say, the biggest problem with having speakers outside is the boxes soak up the water. Like, especially if you're using this kind of wood right here. This is the cheap particle board wood kind of bullshit on these old speakers in here. The ones I got here are solid, so they'd be a little harder to mess up in the water, but they still will warp. This tar stuff is absolutely amazing for what it is. Like a can of that's like $10. I didn't even use a full can on these, just a quick shot. I'm gonna wait till they dry and then you know, turn them over and do the other bottom part. I got a little on the grill, but that doesn't matter. The speaker's right here, you know. Now, I'll expect these speakers to last a good long time because the old speakers, what I had before was the boxes were like realistic Optimus or something like that, with a kind of baffle in them, looked like this. You know, when people put a piece of wood to put a smaller speaker in. Well, what I did was put a car 6x9 in there, and the boxes were these just the wood like this with the shit on them, the tar shit on them. They were just fine. They worked great. Now this is a little redneck, of course, but like I say, if you don't really mind the looks, and I mean these look a lot better than those little plastic ones, I think. Anyway, I kind of messed up. Oh, sorry, my camera died. Anyway, I kind of messed up here and sprayed there. I forgot to bring my tape. Usually I'll tape that off, you know, so it would look a little nicer. But these guys, it's let's say, outdoor speakers. Last you a good long time, especially if you have like an eave like this. You stick them under the eave like that, you know, then they're not in direct rain, although direct rain is not a problem for this stuff. You know, like I say, I've had other speakers that have been untreated, no covers on them, anything, just sitting out in the bush. The only problem I've had with them is the boxes. Boxes rot away. These will last a good long time. There's my little Redneck DIY outdoor speakers on a shitty old camera because I seem to have forgotten my battery for my good camera somewhere else. This was actually the first camera I used for YouTube. Anyway, see you guys later.